afternoon, Wayne County. This is Simon Levine for WECI News Radio. On today's show, an Indiana man sues the Fort Wayne International Airport over alleged First Amendment violations. The Indiana Pacers fire head coach Jim O'Brien. Congressman Mike Pence decides not to run for the presidency, and more. But first, we'll hear about the forthcoming Indiana ban on synthetic marijuana.
Indiana House passes a bill making spice illegal. Spice is the commonly known name for synthetic marijuana. The bill went to a vote earlier Tuesday, passing the House by a vote of 99-0. House Bill 1102 proposes that spice be under the same criminal penalties as marijuana, and now the bill is being sent to the Senate for consideration. Many Indiana counties have already enacted bans against the substance, which has become available at many truck stops and convenience stores. The bill's author, Representative David Yard of District 52, hopes to send a message to the manufacturers and to the vendors of this product, saying it is an absolute plague that has infected our state. Indiana is one of several states to recently pass legislature on the issue, along with Tennessee, Missouri, Louisiana, and Mississippi. For WECI News, this has been Sean Gardner.
In local news, Ohio jury convicts man of beating police officer. The jury has found 47-year-old Eric German guilty of obstructing official police business. Authorities say that German beat Middleton officer Jason Deaton after a July traffic stop captured on a cruiser dashboard camera. The judge will decide remaining misdemeanor charges. German pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. The Hamilton Journal-News reports the psychologist agreed German has a behavior disorder, but disagreed on his severity. Sourcing from Pile Item.
U.S. Representative Mike Pence announced Thursday that he would not seek nomination for presidency, at least not in 2012. However, he said that he may consider running for Indiana governor instead. Some Pence supporters were disappointed by his decision not to aim for the White House, but others are optimistic about his potential run for governor. Numerous Republican officials believe Pence would be the obvious candidate to succeed Governor Mitch Daniels. Democrats, on the other hand, believe his focus on Washington and his stances on controversial issues will compromise his public support. Despite statements made by either party, Pence has not officially announced whether or not he will run for governor in 2012. He plans to tour the state for the next several months in order to assess voters' opinions. Whatever he decides to do, Pence says it will be here in Indiana, not in Washington. For WECI News, this has been Laura Miller, sourcing from Mary Beth Schneider and Maureen Gropp for the Indianapolis Star.
In Bloomington, the town is still buzzing about the Indiana Hoosier men's basketball team's huge win over 20th-ranked Illinois Thursday night in Assembly Hall. The 52-49 victory gives the Hoosiers their first win over a ranked opponent since Indiana defeated Purdue in the 2007-2008 season. Terry Hutchins from the Indianapolis Star reports that IU held the Fighting Illini, who were 14-7 on the season and 4-4 in the Big Ten, to 25 points under a season scoring average of 74.8. After a 32-30 Illinois lead at halftime, both teams struggled. The Illini scored the first points of the second half at the 14:34 mark, and IU got on the board with 14:03 to go on the Hoosiers' Victor Oladipo's 2 free throws. Indiana, which is 11-10 on the season and 2-6 in the Big Ten, scored the game's final 6 points after Illinois' Brandon Paul's three-pointer had put the Illini on top 49-46 with 2:44 to play. IU's Christian Wofford hit a pair of free throws with 2:28 left in the game. That got the Hoosiers close, but it was Tom Pritchard's tip-in shot that would put the Hoosiers on top for good. Jordan Halls led Indiana with 18 points, while Christian Wofford chipped in with 16. For WeSide News, this has been Marcus Bledsoe.
Good news for Hoosiers who are trying to lose weight. The state hopes to be able to help. Indiana state health officials announced a new plan on Friday to encourage healthy lifestyles and weight loss. The In Shape Indiana initiative began 6 years ago, yet 65% of the state's adults are still overweight or obese. The new plan's goals include increasing the number of healthy weight adults by 3% by the year 2020. This may seem like a daunting task. The state health commissioner, Dr. Gregory Larkin, says the hardest part of losing weight is making the healthier choice the easier choice, so the new plan aims to make healthy choices easier. State health officials hope Indiana communities will take steps to get in shape and make the plan a success. For WECI News, this has been Laura Miller, sourcing from Sherry Rudovsky for the Indianapolis Star.
Local Indiana man Paul Staten suing Fort Wayne International Airport, alleging that the new restrictions regarding protests violates his free speech rights. The federal lawsuit filed argues that the new rules restrict the right to hand out copies of the United States Constitution to protest the federal government's new airport security measures. Alleging that these rules violate the First Amendment, the American Civil Liberties Union representing Staten says the rules set a limited free speech zone outside terminal requiring protesters to apply for a permit. Airport officials say the rules are necessary to protect the public and airport staff. Sourcing from Pal Item.
The Indiana Pacers have decided to part ways with coach Jim O'Brien. Indianapolis Star Mike Wells reports. The Pacers organization has been thinking about firing Coach O'Brien last week after going 0-4 in the team's Western Conference road trip. As the head coach for the Pacers, O'Brien had a 121-169 record overall in 3+ seasons here with Indiana. Frank Vogel, the assistant coach, is expected to coach for the remainder of the season, but Pacers general manager Larry Bird will have a strong say in deciding who plays, according to the Star. The Pacers' last defeat was Saturday at the hands of the Chicago Bulls, 110-89. For WECI News, this has been Marcus Bledsoe.
The Indiana House voted 68-31 in favor of House Bill 1018, which bans smoking in most public venues in Indiana. Sponsored by Representative Charlie Brown, a Democrat from Gary, and Representative Eric Turner, a Republican from Marion. This marks the 5th time that a smoking ban bill has passed the House. The bill prohibits smoking in all public venues except for casinos and bars that only serve adults over 21. It also allows nursing homes and fraternal clubs to have smoking areas. But the supporters of this bill hope that the Senate will get rid of these exemptions. While some consider this bill an intrusion by government that will affect small business, Representative Brown calls it an attempt to protect the majority of Hoosiers who don't smoke, and studies show that less than 25% of all Hoosiers smoke. Representative Turner adds, 37 states have some kind of smoking ban. We are not breaking new ground here. For WECI News, this has been Sean Gardner.
That's all for today, folks. Again, for WECI News Radio, this is Simon Levine. Thanks for listening, and bundle up out there.